My child, I need you to stay right here with me for a moment and not move your thoughts away, because what you are feeling right now is not ordinary and it is not random. I stepped into your awareness at this very second for a reason that you do not yet fully see, and I want you to ask yourself gently without fear, why am I here right now? Why did these words reach me at this exact timing? Why does my heart feel like something is trying to speak beyond what my eyes can read? I want you to understand something deeply before anything else settles in your mind. This is not coincidence. This is not chance. This is not something that simply appeared in front of you among many other things. There is a divine appointment hidden inside this moment, and I am the one who set it in place for you. I saw the weight you were carrying before you even became aware of it yourself. I saw the silent questions you never said out loud. I saw the nights where your thoughts became too heavy to organize. And I saw the moments where you wondered if anything you were praying for was actually being heard. And now I am speaking into that very place of wondering, not to overwhelm you, but to awaken something within you that has been quiet for too long. There is a reason your eyes did not scroll past this moment. There is a reason your spirit paused, even if your mind tried to move faster. And that reason is not found in what is visible, but in what is hidden beneath it. I want you to know that heaven does not lose track of you. Heaven does not misplace your cries. Heaven does not forget the sound of your heart when it calls out in silence. And I am telling you this because the timing of this moment carries meaning far beyond what you can measure. There are things in your life that have felt delayed. There are doors that felt like they stayed closed without explanation. There are answers you expected but did not receive when you thought you would. And in those spaces where silence stretched longer than you could understand, you began to wonder if you were being ignored. But I am revealing to you now that silence is not absence, and delay is not abandonment. There is a hidden process you were never meant to see fully with your natural understanding. Because what I am building in you requires a deeper foundation than what impatience could perceive. I brought you here to interrupt the noise that has been surrounding your thoughts. I brought you here to place a pause in the heaviness you have been carrying. I brought you here because there is a message beneath this moment that is only revealed when you stop running from your own awareness. I need you to recognize that even your question of, why am I here, is already part of the divine signal I placed within you. Because curiosity is not accidental when heaven is calling your attention. It is the beginning of recognition. It is the soft opening of understanding that something greater is near. I want you to slow down inside, even if everything around you has been moving fast. Because I am not speaking to your urgency, I am speaking to your soul, and your soul understands timing differently than your thoughts do. There is a reason I allowed this exact moment to reach you, and not another moment. There is a reason you are hearing this now instead of before, and there is a reason you have not been able to ignore the pull that brought you into this space. I want you to hold that question gently. Why am I here? Because within it is the beginning of awareness that I have not stepped away from your life, even when you felt unseen. I have not left your story even when it felt unclear, and I have not stopped forming what I promised to complete within you. This is a hidden message wrapped in timing, a divine invitation wrapped in stillness, and a reason wrapped in love that you are only beginning to sense right now. And I want you to remain here in this awareness, because what comes next will begin to unfold what your heart has been waiting to understand. My child, now that you have not turned away from my voice, I want to stay with you in this quiet place a little longer, because what I am about to show you is not something I am revealing to condemn you, but something I am revealing so you finally understand why your heart feels so heavy. I already told you there is a reason you were drawn here, but now I want to go deeper into what has been sitting beneath your daily strength, beneath your smiles, beneath the way you try to keep moving even when everything inside you feels exhausted. I see the hidden burden you have been carrying, the kind that does not always have words, the kind that sits in your chest when no one is watching, the kind that follows you even when the room is full of people. And I want you to hear me clearly when I say, I have seen every layer of your exhaustion. I have seen the silent struggle you do not talk about because you feel others would not understand. I have seen how often you wake up already tired before the day even begins, and how your thoughts feel like they never fully rest even when your body tries to sleep. I have seen the emotional fatigue that builds slowly over time, not from one moment, but from many small moments, where you had to stay strong when you felt like breaking. I have seen the hidden pain you learned to function through, the disappointment you did not have space to fully process, the unanswered questions you carried longer than you were meant to carry alone, and the weight of always trying to appear okay even when your heart was not okay. You have been living in a kind of quiet pressure, where nothing looks visibly wrong but everything feels internally heavy, and that kind of exhaustion is deeper than what words usually describe. I know the moments when you smiled just to avoid explaining what you were really feeling. I know the moments when you told yourself to keep going because stopping did not feel like an option. I know the nights when your mind replayed everything you could not fix and everything you could not control, and I know how that slowly drains your strength until even simple things feel harder than they should be. There is a silent struggle inside you that has been asking for relief long before you knew how to ask for it yourself. And I am not speaking this to overwhelm you, but to let you finally feel understood in places where you thought no one could see. I saw the weight of expectations you placed on yourself, the pressure to hold everything together, the fear of letting others down, and the quiet disappointment you feel toward your own limitations. And I want you to know, I am not distant from any of that. I am not unaware of how much effort it takes you just to keep going. I am not blind to the moments when you feel like you are running on empty but still forcing yourself to show up for life, and I am not ignoring the parts of you that feel emotionally worn down from trying so hard for so long. There is a reason your soul feels tired in a way that rest alone cannot fully explain. Because it is not only physical tiredness, it is emotional accumulation, it is the weight of unspoken things. It is the pressure of carrying more than your heart was meant to carry alone, and I want you to pause for a moment and simply recognize that I see all of it, without you needing to prove it or explain it. I see the hidden places where you feel stretched thin. I see the places where hope feels distant, and I see the places where you wonder if anyone truly understands what you are going through. And I want you to let yourself be honest for just a moment, not to fix anything yet, not to change anything yet, but simply to acknowledge that what you feel is real, that your exhaustion is real, that your hidden pain is real, and that you have not imagined the weight you have been carrying, because I have been with you, even in the parts of your story where you felt most alone, and I have never once looked away from you, even when you felt like you were holding everything together by only a thread. My child, I need you to stay with me a little deeper now, because what I am about to gently reveal is the place where your thoughts have been quietly hurting you without you even realizing it. And I am not speaking to shame you, but to free you from something that has been shaping the way you see yourself. I want you to listen closely, because inside your exhaustion there has been a voice that did not come from me, a voice that has been repeating itself in the background of your mind during your weakest moments, and over time you started to believe it without questioning it. I want to bring that into the light with love, because I see the false belief that has been sitting in your heart, the belief that says you are forgotten, the belief that whispers you are not enough, the belief that tries to define you by what did not work, by what was delayed, by what was lost, and by what you could not control. And I want you to understand something very clearly. I have never spoken those words over you. I have never called you forgotten. I have never defined you by your failures. And I have never measured your worth by your struggles, but fear has been speaking in a disguised voice, and self-doubt has been echoing it until it started to sound like truth in your inner world. And that is where the weight began to grow heavier than it should have been, because when a false belief takes root, it does not only affect your thoughts, it begins to affect how you carry your life, how you see your future, how you interpret silence, and how you respond to waiting seasons. I see how the belief that you are not enough has made you question your steps even when I was guiding you. I see how the belief that you are alone has made you feel distant even when I was near. And I see how the belief that things will not change has made you emotionally brace yourself for disappointment, even when hope was already being placed in front of you. But I want to gently interrupt that pattern inside you right now, because that voice of fear is not your identity, it is not your truth, and it is not the story I am writing over your life. I know there were moments where you felt overlooked by people, moments where your efforts were not seen, moments where your prayers felt like they were hanging in silence, and in those moments the enemy of your peace tried to interpret silence as abandonment. But I want you to hear me with clarity. Silence is not rejection. Delay is not denial. And unseen does not mean unknown. I have seen every detail of your journey, even when others did not notice. And I have never once measured your life the way fear has tried to measure it. There is a difference between what you feel in a moment and what is actually true in eternity. And I am calling you back to truth now, because fear builds stories that sound convincing but are not rooted in who I am. Fear tells you that you are behind, but I am telling you that you are being prepared. Fear tells you that you are forgotten, but I am telling you that you are held in my presence even now. Fear tells you that you are not enough, but I am telling you that I have placed purpose inside you that has not been completed yet, and I do not abandon what I have begun. I do not leave unfinished what I have spoken life into, and I do not turn away from the ones I am shaping through love. I want you to notice how heavy those false beliefs have felt in your spirit, because truth does not feel like bondage. Truth does not crush your heart. Truth does not make you question your worth every time you breathe. And what I am offering you now is a return to truth that lifts rather than condemns, that heals rather than isolates, that restores rather than breaks you down. And I need you to gently let go of the agreement you made with fear when you were tired, because I am here to replace that agreement with something stronger, something steadier, something rooted in love that does not shift with your emotions. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, and you are not defined by the lies that tried to sit inside your pain. I am speaking to the real you beneath those thoughts, the part of you that still longs for hope, the part of you that still responds to love, the part of you that still reaches even when it feels weak. And I am telling you that I have never stopped responding to that part of you, not once, not even in the moments you thought I was silent. I was there, holding what fear tried to distort. And now I am calling you out of agreement with those lies and back into the truth of who you are in me. My child, I want to gently lift your eyes now from the weight of how you have seen yourself, because I am about to show you something that will not match the picture fear has painted in your mind. And I need you to receive this with a quiet heart, not analyzing, not resisting, just allowing me to speak into the deepest place within you, because the way I see you is not the way your fear has been describing you, and it is not the way your past has tried to define you. I see you differently. I see you through my perspective, and what I see is not failure sitting over your life, but hidden strength that has been forming in silence. I see not defeat, but endurance. I see not emptiness, but preparation. I see not delay, but unseen growth that has been happening beneath what you can measure. I know you have judged your own life by what feels unfinished. I know you have looked at your journey and felt like you were standing still while others seemed to move forward. But from my perspective, nothing in your life has been wasted. Nothing has been overlooked and nothing has been forgotten, because even in the moments where you felt weak, I was shaping something inside of you that strength alone could not produce. There is a depth in you that was formed in quiet seasons, a resilience that did not come from comfort but from walking through uncertainty while still holding on. And I want you to understand that I do not define you by your hardest days. I define you by what I am building through those days. You thought your tears were only a sign of breaking, but I saw them as a sign of release. You thought your silence meant distance, but I saw it as moments where I was drawing closer to you in ways you could not yet recognize. You thought your waiting meant nothing was happening, but I saw growth in places you did not even think were active. I see the way you kept going even when you felt like stopping. I see the way you kept believing even when belief felt fragile. I see the way you kept returning to hope even after disappointment tried to pull you away from it. And these things are not small to me. These are not forgotten details. These are the very places where unseen strength is formed, because what I am building in you cannot be measured by speed or comparison. It is measured by transformation. I want to gently shift your understanding right now, because you have been looking at yourself through the lens of pressure and expectation, but I am inviting you to see yourself through the lens of my perspective, where every step forward in faith, even when trembling, is seen as progress, where every moment you chose not to give up is seen as victory, where every time you reached for me, even in confusion, is seen as connection. I am not overlooking your pain, but I am also not ignoring the strength that pain has revealed in you. There is hidden growth in you that you have not fully recognized yet. There is spiritual maturity forming in places you thought were only weakness, and there is a shaping happening within you that will make sense when the season changes. I am not looking at you with disappointment. I am looking at you with understanding. I am not stepping away from your process. I am present within it, and I am telling you now that what you thought was holding you back has also been holding you together. I have seen the unseen parts of your journey that others could not see, and I have never once measured your worth by how fast you reach certain places in life. I measure you by how deeply you are being formed in love, and I want you to begin to see that even now, even in this moment, there is something in you that is stronger than it was before. Not because life was easy, but because I have been with you through every part of it, and I am still here, revealing to you that what you thought was only struggle has also been preparation for something greater than you currently understand. My child, I want you to rest your heart in this moment as I speak to the question that has been sitting quietly inside you for so long. The question that rises when nights feel long and answers feel delayed. The question that says, why do I have to wait? Why does this season feel stretched beyond what I can understand? And I want to answer you not with distance but with closeness, because I have been with you in every moment of your waiting, even when it felt like nothing was changing. I want you to see your waiting through my eyes now, because what you called delay, I have called preparation. What you called silence, I have called process. And what you called uncertainty, I have called growth, happening beneath the surface of what you can see. I know how it feels when you look at your life and wonder if progress is even real. I know how it feels when you pray and then watch time pass without the answer appearing in the way you expected. But I want you to understand something deeply within your spirit. I do not plant seeds to abandon them. I do not place something valuable in your life and forget to tend it. And I do not begin a work in you without intention to complete it. Your waiting season is not empty space. It is fertile ground. It is a hidden field where something greater is forming. Even though your eyes cannot yet see the surface, I want you to picture a seed placed deep in the soil, because from the outside it looks still, it looks unchanged, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath that soil, there is a process that cannot be rushed. Roots are reaching deeper, strength is forming in hidden places, stability is being built where storms will one day try to shake you, and if that seed were to be pulled up too early, it would not survive what is coming next. This is why I allow seasons, because seasons are not punishment, they are protection. I am protecting what I have placed inside you from becoming fragile under conditions it is not yet ready to face. I am strengthening your roots before I expand your branches, because what I have planned for your life is not small, and what I am forming in you requires depth before visibility. I know you feel the pressure of time. I know you feel the weight of wondering when things will finally shift, but I am telling you that nothing is wasted in this process. Not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single moment of waiting has been without purpose, because even when you felt still, I was working. Even when you felt overlooked, I was building. Even when you felt paused, I was preparing you for something that requires a stronger foundation than what comfort could have given you. There are seasons in nature where growth is not visible above ground, but everything is being established below it, and your life has been in that kind of season. Not stagnant, not forgotten, but deeply under construction in ways you do not yet fully understand. I want you to begin to trust the unseen process, because trust is what allows your heart to rest while growth continues. And I am not asking you to force understanding. I am inviting you into peace within the process, because I am with you in the waiting. I am present in the unseen growth, and I am holding the outcome even when you cannot yet see the change. There is purpose in this season that will only make sense when you look back and realize that what felt like delay was actually formation, what felt like silence was actually strengthening, and what felt like distance was actually me working closer to your foundation than ever before. I have not forgotten you in this process. I have not paused your life without intention, and I have not withheld what is meant for you without purpose. I am shaping you so that when what I have promised arrives, you will be able to carry it with strength, stability, and peace that could not have been formed in any other way. My child, now I want to take you even deeper into what is quietly being formed inside you during this season. Because while you have been focused on what has not yet changed around you, something far more important has been changing within you, something invisible but powerful. something that will shape every future step you take, and I want to help you recognize it with clarity, so you stop measuring your life only by external outcomes and begin to see the internal transformation that is already taking place. Because in the waiting, something sacred is being built inside your character, something that cannot be rushed or imitated, and it is forming through every moment you thought was slow, through every moment you thought was quiet, through every moment you thought nothing was happening. I have been shaping wisdom inside you, not the kind that comes from ease, but the kind that comes from reflection, from learning to listen deeper, from learning to pause before reacting, from learning to see beyond what is immediately visible. And this wisdom will guide you in ways emotional impulse never could. I have been building resilience in you, not the kind that ignores pain, but the kind that knows how to carry it without breaking, the kind that learns how to stand again after disappointment, the kind that does not disappear when life becomes difficult. And this resilience is not born in comfort. It is born in moments where you thought you could not continue but somehow did. I have been developing patience within you, not as forced waiting, but as understanding that growth has its own timing, that not everything responds instantly, that some things require depth before they can rise, and this patience will become a quiet strength that steadies your heart when circumstances feel uncertain. I have also been shaping compassion inside you, a softness that understands others more deeply because you have walked through your own unseen battles, a gentleness that does not judge quickly because you know what it feels like to be misunderstood, and this compassion will allow you to carry presence into places where others only bring pressure. I want you to realize that you are not the same person who first entered this season of waiting, even if your circumstances feel familiar, even if your surroundings look unchanged, because transformation does not always announce itself loudly. It often happens quietly within the heart, shaping the way you respond, shaping the way you interpret life, shaping the way you hold yourself when things do not go as expected. And I want you to begin honoring this inner growth instead of dismissing it, because what is being built inside you is far more valuable than what you currently see unfolding outside you. There is a strengthening of discernment happening in you, a clarity forming that will help you recognize what is aligned and what is not. There is an emotional stability beginning to take root that will prevent you from being easily shaken by circumstances that once overwhelmed you. And there is a deeper sense of grounding forming in your spirit that will allow you to remain steady even when life feels uncertain. This is not accidental development, this is intentional shaping, because what is ahead of you requires a version of you that is more grounded, more aware, more patient, and more anchored than before. And I am not rushing this process because I know what it is preparing you for. So when you feel like nothing is changing, I want you to remember that change is not always visible at the surface. Sometimes it is forming at the core, sometimes it is shaping your foundation, sometimes it is building a version of you that will not only receive what is ahead, but will be able to carry it with strength and peace. And I want you to begin to see yourself not as stuck in waiting, but as being shaped in preparation, not as delayed, but as developing into someone who can hold what is coming without being overwhelmed by it. Because what is being built inside you right now will one day become the very reason you can walk into your future without fear, without instability, and without losing yourself along the way. My child, now that you have come this far with me, I want to gently bring you to a moment of decision, not a forced decision, not a heavy one, but a quiet and honest one, where your heart finally has space to respond instead of resist, because everything I have been speaking into you has been leading you here, to this place where you no longer only listen, but you begin to respond within your spirit. And I want to ask you something simple but deeply important. What are you willing to release right now so that your heart can finally breathe again? I am not asking you to fix everything at once. I am not asking you to understand everything all at once. I am inviting you into a step of surrender that begins with honesty, because there are things you have been holding for too long that were never meant to define your future. There is pain you have carried that has already done its work of shaping you, and now it is time to let it loosen its grip on your heart. I am inviting you to let go of the need to control every outcome, because control has made your spirit tired. I am inviting you to release the weight of unforgiveness, not because what happened was right, but because your heart was never designed to stay bound to what broke it. I am inviting you to trust me with the areas where you feel uncertain, even if trust feels small right now, even if it feels like a whisper instead of a strong voice inside you, because I do not require perfect trust. I receive honest trust. I receive the smallest step of surrender when it is real, and I want you to understand that surrender is not losing. It is finally allowing yourself to be carried instead of constantly carrying everything alone. I am not asking you to become strong in your own ability. I am asking you to stop, depending only on your own strength, because you were never meant to walk through every season in isolation, and there is peace that begins to form the moment you stop fighting what you cannot control. I want you to consider releasing the burden of always needing to have answers immediately, because some answers unfold only when the heart is still enough to receive them. I want you to forgive yourself for the moments you felt weak, for the moments you doubted, for the moments you felt like you were not enough, because I have never spoken that over you, and I am not asking you to carry self-judgment into your healing. I am asking you to step out of agreement with it, and to step into something softer, something freer, something lighter. I am inviting you to trust that what I am doing in your life is not random, even when you cannot trace the full picture yet, because trust is not based on full understanding. Trust is choosing to rest in my presence, even when clarity has not fully arrived. I want you to take this moment and simply breathe in the idea that you do not have to carry everything alone anymore, that you can let go of what is breaking your peace, that you can place your fear into my care instead of letting it sit inside your thoughts all day. And I am not rushing you. I am walking with you into this decision gently, because real transformation does not come from pressure. It comes from willingness. And I see your willingness, even if it feels small. I see the part of you that still wants peace, the part of you that still longs for healing, the part of you that still reaches even after disappointment, and I am telling you now that this is enough to begin a new step. So I am inviting you to let go of what is heavy, to forgive where forgiveness has been delayed, to surrender what you cannot control, and to trust that you are not stepping into uncertainty alone. You are stepping into a process that I am holding with you, and as you do this, even in the smallest way, you will begin to feel something inside you shift from tension to peace, from holding to releasing, from fear to quiet assurance that you are not walking this path without guidance. And I will remain with you in every step of what you are releasing right now. My child, now I want to gently lift your spirit beyond what you currently see, beyond what you currently feel, beyond the limited frame your present circumstances may have placed around your expectations, because when you look ahead with natural eyes, you often only see what is already familiar. But I am inviting you to see with a deeper awareness, one that does not depend on what has happened before, but on what is being formed beyond your current view. There is a future unfolding that you cannot yet fully recognize, not because it is hidden to deny you, but because it is still forming in layers you are not yet ready to interpret all at once. And I want you to feel a quiet sense of hope rise within you as I speak this, because what is ahead of you is not defined by what has been behind you. I am opening a new chapter in your journey, one that does not repeat the weight of what you have already carried, but begins to introduce a different kind of strength, a different kind of peace, a different kind of clarity that you have not yet fully experienced. I know there have been moments where your expectations felt reduced by disappointment, where your imagination of the future became quieter because you were trying to protect your heart from further pain, but I am gently restoring your ability to hope again, not as pressure, not as obligation, but as a soft rebuilding of expectation that something good can still emerge from your life. I want you to understand that restoration is not simply about returning you to what was before. It is about bringing you into something that carries deeper stability, deeper understanding, and deeper alignment with what is meant for you. There are opportunities forming ahead that will meet you in ways you are not currently prepared to fully measure, not because you are lacking, but because growth is still taking place within you that will allow you to recognize them with wisdom when they arrive. I am preparing doors that align with your strengthened inner foundation. I am shaping connections that will reflect the transformation you have quietly undergone. And I am guiding circumstances in ways that will bring clarity where confusion once existed. But I need you to release the need to see every detail now, because faith is not built on full visibility. It is built on trust while walking forward step by step. I want you to imagine your life not as something stuck in repetition, but as something moving toward expansion, toward renewal, toward a season where what once felt blocked begins to open gradually and meaningfully. And as these openings come, they will not overwhelm you because of everything I have been building within you during your waiting. There is a future where your heart feels less burdened by constant uncertainty, where your mind is less consumed by what-ifs, and where your spirit begins to recognize stability in ways that feel new and grounding. I am not speaking of sudden perfection in your external world, but of a shift in how you experience your journey, a shift where peace begins to accompany you even in transition, where clarity begins to replace confusion in steps rather than all at once, and where hope becomes something you can hold again without fear of it being taken away immediately. There are moments ahead where you will look back and understand why certain things had to be released, why certain delays had to occur, and why certain seasons could not have been rushed. Because what I am bringing into your life requires a version of you that is more anchored, more aware, and more ready to carry what is meaningful without losing yourself in it. And I want you to hold this gently in your heart, that the unknown ahead of you is not something to fear, but something that is being shaped with intention, care, and purpose. And as you continue forward, you will begin to notice that hope is not something distant, but something slowly returning to you in quiet ways, through peace in unexpected moments, through clarity in decisions that once felt overwhelming, and through a growing sense that your life is not standing still, but moving toward a new chapter that is already being prepared with you in mind. My child, now I want to gently bring everything I have spoken over you into a place of stillness, not because the journey is ending, but because your heart needs a moment to rest in what it has received. I do not want you to carry confusion with you. I do not want you to leave with heaviness. I want you to leave with peace, settling gently over everything you have heard, because the purpose of my words to you has never been to overwhelm you, but to restore you, to steady you, to remind you that your life is still held in a love that does not change with circumstance. So I want you to breathe slowly now, and allow everything that was heavy to loosen its grip, allow every fear that was stirred to soften, allow every doubt that rose to quiet itself in the presence of peace, because what remains now is what I want you to carry forward. I want you to carry the truth that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, and not abandoned in your journey. I want you to carry the understanding that your waiting has never been wasted, and your pain has never been invisible. I want you to carry the awareness that even in your silence, you have not been alone, and even in your uncertainty, you have not been unseen. And now I am placing a blessing over the part of you that still hopes, even if it feels small. I am strengthening it. I am letting it breathe again. I am reminding you that hope is not foolish, it is not weak, it is the beginning of renewal within your spirit. I am placing peace over the parts of you that have been restless, peace that does not depend on circumstances changing instantly, but peace that holds you steady, even while things are still unfolding. I am placing comfort over the memories that still feel tender, not to reopen them, but to heal the way they linger inside you. And I am placing courage within you for the steps you will take next, not courage that is loud or forceful, but courage that is calm, grounded, and steady, the kind that allows you to move forward without fear controlling your direction. I want you to remember this one truth. As you move beyond this moment, you are not walking into your future alone. You are not stepping into uncertainty without guidance, and you are not carrying your life by yourself. There is a presence with you that does not leave when the words end, and does not disappear when the screen is closed. And I want that awareness to remain gently alive within you, so that when you feel overwhelmed again, you remember this stillness. When you feel uncertain again, you remember this peace. And when you feel alone again, you remember that your story is still being held with care. I bless the work being formed inside your heart. I bless the strength growing quietly within you. I bless the healing that is unfolding even now in ways you do not yet fully see. And I bless your steps ahead so that they are not driven by fear, but guided by peace. And I leave you with this final truth that will remain with you beyond this moment. You are being carried, even when you are learning to walk.